Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reacting to the book Ashanti to Zulu, written by Margaret Musgrove. If this book piques your interest, there will be a link in the description box below. As always, don't forget to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.
Ashanti to Zulu, a book describing African traditions, written by Margaret Musgrove, with pictures by Leo and Diane Dillon. Africa is an enormous and varied continent, inhabited by hundreds of different peoples whose array of customs and traditions are as diverse as the land itself. The collection of vignettes that follows will introduce you to 26 African peoples by depicting a custom important to each. Some of the customs are unique and relate only to a particular people. Others are shared by many peoples, but all reflect African values or philosophies. In spite of the fact that modern technology is bringing new ways and directions to African life, the traditions that have been passed from generation to generation are still respected and practiced. We hope that this collection will give you not only a feeling for the vastness of the African continent and the variety of her peoples, but for the place that tradition holds at the very heart of African life. Ashanti weavers make a beautiful cloth called Kente. They weave it in bright silk threads and give each different design a name. One, which is mostly yellow, is called gold dust. Another, called When the Queen Comes to Accra, is a favorite of many Ashanti women. One Man Cannot Rule a Country was designed especially for Ghana's first president. The Ashanti king drapes himself in a special kente that only he may wear. To the Baule, a crocodile holding a big fish in its mouth is a sacred symbol. A Baule legend tells of a war with the Ashanti. The Ashanti had chased the Baule to a deep river. There was no bridge, so the Baule asked the crocodiles to help them across. The crocodiles agreed, but in return they demanded the most precious thing the Baule people had. Tearfully the queen gave them her only son. Then the crocodiles lined up side by side in the water, and the Baule walked across their backs to safety. Chaga children grow up in groups with other children of the same age and sex. Often, a group takes a name that sounds brave or proud. The children work, play, and go to school together. In a special initiation ceremony, they all become adults at the same time. Chaga priests perform this ceremony in traditional costumes, and sometimes the children's faces are painted. After a big celebration, the children are considered adults. The Dogon people are farmers. They live in Mali, where they carve their fields into the rugged mountains like wide, flat stair steps. Then they build stone walls to keep the steps from being washed away by rain or blown away by the wind. Ewe drummers talk with drums. A long time ago, Ewe drums sent news to people miles and miles away. Today, there are telephones and telegraphs in Africa, but the drums still talk. On special occasions, the Ewe drum and dance together. The talking drums tell everyone what the dance is about and what steps to do. These drums have strings stretched from top to bottom all around them. By squeezing the strings against their bodies as they hit the drums, the drummers can make the voices higher or lower. The Fanti offer their guests white bubbly palm wine that has a clean, fresh smell. The wine comes from tree trunks, and the Fanti chop down or tap palm trees to get it. People sip it from gourds called calabashes. Before drinking, a person pours a little wine on the ground and says, "Come, drink with us." This is called pouring libation, and it is done to honor the ancestors. Ga women make fufu by pounding boiled white yams with long, thick sticks. This makes the hot yams smooth and pasty. Before eating it, the family members roll the steamy fufu between their fingers and dip it into a stew. The whole family eats the fufu from the same bowl. It is Ga tradition to use only the right hand to touch food. Hausa men are called to prayer 5 times each day. A strong voice rings out like a song chanting, "Allah is great," from the tower of a mosque. Allah is their God, and Islam is their religion. The mosque is their church. When they hear the call, Hausa men bow low in prayer. The Ikoma gather honey to eat and sell. There is a tiny bird in their land which loves honey, but cannot get into the beehives. When this bird sees a person, it becomes excited and flies to him. Fluttering and chattering, it leads the way through the bush to a hive. The Ikoma always reward the bird with a gift of honeycomb. Otherwise, they say, it may never help them find honey again. The Jia are herders in the lovely green land of Uganda. The men spend most of their time roaming the land with their cattle, while the women do the farming. Jia men love their animals so much that they name themselves after them. The animals are named for the colors and markings on their skins, and the men take these same names. The short, wiry Kung people know where to find water under the desert sand and how to get it. They carry reeds in their skin bags. When they find a place where there is water, they push the reeds into the sand and slowly suck up the water. They store it in huge ostrich eggshells. The Lozi live by the Zambezi River. Every winter, when it floods their land, they get into their boats and move to higher ground. First comes a black and white striped barge called the Nalakwanda. On it is a white cabin in which the paramount chief and the royal family ride. Boats of all sizes and shapes follow the chief's barge. Filled with people, stoves, and even cows, they move through the treetops and stilt houses to higher ground. Maasai men groom their long, thick hair with red clay and cow grease. Dozens of tiny, neat braids flow over their strong, lean shoulders. Pulled and looped into fancy styles, the braids flop heavily when they run or jump. It is Maasai custom for the women to shave their heads and wear pounds and pounds of jewelry made of beaded iron and copper wire. They soothe the skin under the heavy wires with special leaves and grease. Ndaka people wrap a bride in so much cloth that no one knows how big she is. They circle her head with yards and yards of colorful material, and make her a veil of sparkling, clinking beads. Ndaka men lift her to their shoulders on a platform of young trees covered with flowers. A cloth stretched above her seat protects her from the hot sun. Flute players and singers dance gaily beside her as she rides to the groom's village. A Wadai market is held under leaf canopies. The sun is very hot, so palm leaves are woven together and stretched over sticks. Market women sit under these shelters and sell dates, meat, cloth, and other things. The shrill voices call out, as their hands and eyes beckon. Customers must bargain with them for fair prices. People shake their heads and walk away, but they come back. Bargaining is serious business, but it's a lot of fun, too. Pondo boys love to spar with sticks. Each boy uses 2 sticks. He holds one in the middle and uses it to protect himself. He holds the other by the end and tries to hit his opponent with it. Moving rhythmically, the boys dodge and dot, trying to fool each other about where they will strike next. There is only one rule. A boy cannot hit his opponent's knuckles. The winner's prize is often the heart or liver of a freshly killed animal. Kimbanda children can have as many as 25 brothers and sisters if their father can afford them. A wealthy Kimbanda man can have many wives. Each wife lives with her children in a separate house in his compound. In the middle of the compound is a small yard where the women cook meals and the children play. The man visits the houses of his different wives on different nights. The nomadic Rendile live in movable houses. The women load their houses and belongings onto donkeys when they move from place to place. These houses are made of branches bent into round shapes and look a little like igloos. The Rendile can take their huts apart whenever they need to move. It is easy for them to put the huts back together again. When a Sutu girl marries, she does not carry a bouquet of flowers. She holds a magic beaded doll. The doll has no arms or legs, but it does have earrings. Its body is a bright beaded cone. It is Sutu custom for the bride to name the doll. Later, when she has her first baby, she gives this same name to her child. A beautiful Tuareg singer sits in front of a tent playing a musical instrument with one string. As the sun sets in the desert sky, she sings in a high voice, while Tuareg men sit on the ground and pass around a bowl of milk. They lift their veils to sip. This is a howl, a Tuareg party. The Tuaregs are called the people of the veil, but only the men wear veils. When a howl breaks into small groups, the women will do most of the talking. The men will peer over their veils, listening with great respect to the poetry and stories of the women. Uge people collect kola nuts. The nuts are small and hard with pink shells. The Uge chew pieces of them like gum to keep from getting thirsty. After many years of chewing, their teeth become black. Kola nuts are offered to visitors as a sign of friendship and welcome, and priests use them in many important ceremonies. The Vai people of Liberia carry almost everything on their heads. Men, women, and children hold their backs straight and their heads high to balance their loads. Some things that they carry are light, like cloth or small bowls. Other loads are so heavy and wide that a man needs help to get them on his head. Even women with babies on their backs balance heavy trays of food and huge basins of water on their heads. They move gracefully under these loads and almost never drop anything. Bulgania fishermen move carefully on catwalks above the dangerous rapids of the Congo River. Over 1,000 different kinds of fish fill the river, some of them weighing 300 pounds. The fishermen check to see if there are any fish in their giant hand-woven bamboo traps. Some of the traps are 10 feet wide at the mouth and 15 feet long. It is the job of the young Bulgania boys to clean and repair them. The Xhosa people in South Africa wear blankets to keep warm. The blankets are an orangey copper color, but they were white at first. The Xhosa rub a red earth called ochre into the white blankets to get the coppery color. Xhosa men and women are a striking sight, wrapped in their copper blankets, smoking their long pipes. Yoruba artists carve beautiful statues to honor mothers and children. One statue, called an Abeji, celebrates the birth of twins. If one dies, the Abeji takes his place and keeps the twins together. Everything that is done to the living twin is done to the Abeji. Leaping, bending, twisting, Zulu dancers salute their new chief. The earth trembles with the thunder of the drums as the dancers thrust their cowhide shields forward and wave their clubs. Their beaded headbands catch the sun. The furry white goatskin bands on their legs and arms move together as if all their dancers were one person. The Zulus have beautiful and complicated dances for all occasions.
You have to admit that was a beautifully written book that taught you as well as me quite a lot. Now I have a few questions and I want you to take some time in the comments when answering them. Number 1, have you ever wanted to visit Africa? Number 2, where in Africa would you like to visit? And number 3, what cultures would you like to learn? Now please be honest in the comments when answering these questions. Share this video with anyone you deem necessary. Don't forget to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.